Hi, let's talk about mail merges inside of Word. They are used a lot and are very helpful. Go to the Mailings tab and we click on the Start Mail Merge. Notice that we can also pick using the wizard. That is a step-by-step guide over here. I'm not going to use it, but I will leave it open. We're actually just going to use what's available to us in the ribbon. These are grayed out areas, but they will become available to us as we get to that part. So I can select different types of forms for my mail merge, or I can already have a document called up and create a mail merge with that finished document. And all we're doing is adding we're adding fields from another source. So let's just say we're a letter and we're going to select a recipients, and this is where you can type in a new list. It will save it as an Access file. You can use the default field names up at the top, or you can add new fields and or take away what's there so by using the customized columns. Here are the field names that are defaulted. We can delete them and we can add new fields. I'm not going to use this option. I'm going to actually show you how to use an option from an existing list. Now this can be an Excel. It could be a different Access. It could also be just a Word document that has a table inside of it, and I think you'll be creating those in a project. Okay, so in this case I am going to pull from an Excel, and I called it Address Book. It only has a couple of records in it. I only have one sheet, but obviously you can see that if I had a variety of sheets with different addresses for each one, I could use those. It also says first row of data contains column headers, and in this case it's true. It probably would be true in any Excel file because you'd want to have a named title, first name, last name, etc. So when I say OK, I now can edit that recipient list, and to edit I can sort, I can filter, I can find duplicates depending on what you need to edit inside of here. If I click a checkbox, it takes that name off, so that name would not be used inside the merge field. But if to have it on, I'm saying I want all of them. Okay, notice that these are now darkened in, means they're available. To start a letter, you always want to go down a couple of inches in your letter and you want to type your date. You always should do that. January 1st, 2013. And you go about 4 lines down and you can put in an address block. Now I can either use this address block that Microsoft allows us to have, or can actually insert merge fields. These are the headers inside of the Excel document, and they would then put in whatever is in that particular row of this column. But in this case we're going to use the address block. It's giving me an example of here's a name, here's this company name, and here's a city and a zip. So I'm missing some fields. I want to find those fields. So notice that address 1 does not have anything matched to it. Therefore I need to open up, and in my Excel sheet I called my address street name. Same thing for my state. I didn't call it state, I called it ST. So now that I have all my fields matched, I am going to say OK. Notice now that it displays correctly. Here's the company name. I'm going to take that off, and notice how it just gives the name and address. So say OK here. All that shows up here is just the field placement for that address block. I know I want to double space after the inside address, and then I'm going to put a greeting line in. Again, Microsoft allows for a greeting line, or you could type in just using, not type in, but you can actually insert just the separate merge fields. In this case I want Dear. I would like to just have the first name. So scroll down until you find an example of that first name. And I really don't want any punctuation afterwards. This says greeting line for invalid recipients. I don't even want to deal with that, so I'm going to say none. And I can go ahead and say OK. Notice it's just greeting line, field tag. It's not the actual greeting that I'm putting in yet. A couple spaces down I can start my letter. So we have a letter here that we went ahead and typed in really quickly, and what we need to do is I want to define the product that they've ordered that is not available. So it has come to our attention the product you have ordered, and let's put a comma. And then I'm going to go up to where it says insert merge field and use the product field placement holder. And then it says, please call us at your earliest convenience, so everything's fine. Notice that I've got the thank you paragraph double spaced, another double space, and here's your closing with sincerely. Actually, since I don't have a punctuation up at the top on the greeting line, I shouldn't have it at sincerely. And then 4 spaces down and type the name. That 4 spaces so that person can sign the letter. Okay, so now we are ready to actually preview our results. As you can see, I now have a letter that has a street and city. It has the deer. It also has the product. Product you've ordered, ribbon, is not available. Please call us at your earliest convenience. If that's on the second record, if I go back to the first record, it shows that name and address and his product, glass. Okay, so you can preview your results by clicking this button. You can go all the way through to make sure everything looks well and that it's spaced. Maybe I don't like something inside of here, and that's fine. All I have to do is change it. Let's pretend that instead of saying thank you, we say we appreciate your business. That's fine. You're working inside of a document, and so it would change it for every letter that you've done it to, because this is your basic letter. When I know I'm done, I can go back to the finish and merge, and there I can either say I want to edit individual documents, which then sends all of these mail merges into a different, you get all, it sends it into a different document altogether. Okay, this one's called letters. Up here is a different name. As I scroll all the way down, I actually have each individual letter here available to me. I can also just merge straight to the print documents. I don't need to save them for any reason, so I can just say all of them, and then I can pick the document printer that I want to go to. The other option is to send email messages, but your Microsoft Office has to be connected to Outlook in order to do that, so this would not work in this instance. You would do whichever one you were instructed to do, and or whichever one you want. If you'd like to save a hard copy, then edit the individual documents and save the hard copy so that you have record of every person that you sent that to. Once you're done, you're done. You can go back if you need to make changes. If you want to insert another field, you can actually go back and insert other fields. So we go back to preview result, and maybe it's come to our attention, comma, and again, insert just the first name, John, or whatever the first name is, the product you have ordered, and then preview results. In this case, I would need to put a space in before John. Notice as I clicked on it, his name is gray. That means it's a field. It's not just the name. It is actually represented by a field. Okay? So you can just keep doing more and more through this, making different types of labels and envelopes if you needed to do that, and they would all come through your list that you have inside your Excel. So that is a real quick overview of Microsoft's mail merge. Thanks.